This tutorial today, I want us to look at how hackers are able to access directories in a web application which they are not authorized to access. And the tool we are going to use in this tutorial is known as Gobuster. It is written like this. For us to use this tool, let us first of all understand what a directory is. Now, in this Kali Linux operating system, there is a file known as big.txt. Now, if I hit enter here, you're going to see that it says that big.txt is not found. That is because I have not taken you to that directory. Every web application has a directory. So how do I access this big.txt here to find out what is found inside this directory? I am going to do a cd, I do a cd, I do forward slash user share directory word list. Now, this is an example of a directory. Now, what this means is that there is a folder known as user. After that folder, there is another one called share, dirb. There is another one called a word list. And then for us to be able to access big.txt, you hit enter. And then now it tells you that you are now in that directory. If you want to see the things that are found in that directory, you do an ls like this. And then you can now see that we have this file called big.txt. So this is an example of a directory. Now, in every web application, there is a directory. There are directories that you are authorized to have access to, and there are directories that you are not authorized to have access to. But hackers are able to use a tool like Gobuster to have access to those directories. We have directories like configuration files directories, which you are not supposed to see. We have developer files, we have backup files, we have even administrative panels, which you are not supposed to have access to. But now, with the help of Gobuster, hackers are able to have access to these directories. So now, if I want to have access now to a hidden file like big.txt, I will just come here. Now that I'm already found in this directory, I will just do a big.txt here and I hit enter. Oh, sorry, I'll do a cat and then I do a big.txt. What I mean here is that cat means, look, I want you to open this file. I want to see the content of this file. So if I hit enter, you can now see everything that is found inside cat.txt. You can now see everything that is found inside this folder. Think of big.txt as a folder. So what is it that you are seeing here? What you are seeing here refers to, or these are a list of pre-installed passwords that are found in this file. I am going to use this file and I'm going to use this tool called Gobuster to be able to brute force those directories. When I say brute force those directories, what I mean is that, for example, you can see that there is a password here or there is a name here called camera. I want to use this name to check if there is a directory in a, a website or a web application called camera. That is what we are going to be doing. So if I come down here, for example, now, and I want to use Gobuster, I'm going to clear my screen first. And then I am going to say Gobuster. If you don't have it yet installed, you can do sudo apt install Gobuster, and you hit enter and you are going to have, or you follow the rules and you are going to have your Gobuster. But now that I already have it here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how to use this tool. I do a Gobuster and I do /h for help. We want to see how to use this tool. And now you see the commands here that we are going to be using. Now there is a command for directories, which is what we are going to use. There is a command that helps us to be able to access virtual host. There is a command for DNS and then for fuzzing. So I am going to clear my screen again. And then I am going to say Gobuster. I give it dir because I want to brute force directories in a web application. And then what is that web application? I give it a dash U, which stands for URL, and I give it the name of that web application. Now, the name of the web application is https certifiedhacker.com. This is the website or the web application which we want to brute force, which we want to look if we can get access to those directories that are hidden. And then we give it a dash W. This W here stands for word list. Word list. And where is this word list? This word list is in a file known as big.txt. And for us to have access to this file, we must pass through this directory like I initially explained. And what is this directory? This is the directory here. And here is the command which you need. If I give it an enter, Gobuster starts performing the magic. And now you can see that the name of the URL which we want to brute force so as to have access to those directories is called http certifiedhacker.com. And the method which we are using is a get method. There are 10 threads, and then it shows us the word list which we are using to brute force this certifiedhacker.com. And the word list is in a certain directory, and this is the directory, and that word list is found in a file known as big.txt. Now, this is going to take time. So I am going to pause this video, and then we'll come back later, and then we do analysis to see those directories which we have access to, which will come from that short break. You can now see that Gobuster has done a lot for us. Now, if I scroll down, you are going to notice so many directories that Gobuster has brought for us. Look at them. These are directories that we are not supposed to have access to this directory. The hacker is not supposed to have access to these directories. Now, look at a directory that gives us a status of 200 here. This is something direct. This will just take us to the control panel or to the administrator panel, whereby we can now go further by doing a brute force attack. If, for example, I copy this admin panel or control panel, I copy this control panel, or I come here and I just right click and I open the link. Let us wait and see what happens. While we are waiting, okay, now you can see that this is what we have, and you can see the parent directory. You can see other information here. You can see the menu. You can see every other information here. Now, what you have to understand is that what the attacker is a very calm and very patient person. He takes time to have access to all this information and read them and to see how he can continue or he can further his attack. Now, if I come, for example, if I come to Google Chrome, for example, and I type that same website, certifiedhacker.com, and I just paste that directory which I copied and I hit enter, let us wait and see what happens. And now you can see that it has led us to the admin panel here. What does this mean? This means that if, for example, there is somebody in this organization whose username is administrator, for example, you can now do some brute forcing. You can use tools like Hydra, Hashcat, and other tools in your arsenal to try to see if you can do a brute force on this web application to see if you can have administrator access. So this is how hackers have access to directories which they are not supposed to have access to. You can as well come back here and test most of these URLs or most of these domains here, and you're going to have so much information. So, but I am not going to be doing that because we don't have much time and we don't want this tutorial to be too long. I hope this was helpful to you. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and wait for more to come. Thank you and bye bye.